Good to see you back again for the third video. In this one, we'll take the ideas from the first two videos and explore what might happen if the binary particle was responsible for even higher frequency electromagnetic radiation far in excess of the gamma ray. If you haven't watched previous episodes of these videos, please click on the link at the top of the screen and start at the first video. Otherwise, this and other videos won't make much sense. While you're in clicking mode, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel to see more episodes. Thank you. In the previous videos, we suggested how a simple particle could have mass, but none that was measurable. Then, by extending this concept, we explored how a single particle could produce a whole spectrum of different wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation, EMR, which would demonstrate different properties when passing through matter. In this episode, we will look at the possibility of the binary particle producing even higher frequencies of EMR that would not be directly detectable, but might affect the matter through which it passed. Up until now, we have looked at known frequencies of EMR passing through matter. So what would happen if the frequencies of EMR kept increasing? We'd expect the source of the EMR to be even more energetic. Then, using the known frequencies as a guide, we would expect that a much higher frequency of EMR would pass through matter because the size of the rotating binary particle would be very small and unlikely to impact the positively charged atomic nucleus or disrupt the negatively charged electrons surrounding the nucleus. When passing through matter, it would be less likely to self-annihilate, as the bond between the electron and positron would be very strong. Would appear to be massless, as it would pass through any device used to measure mass. Would have a neutral charge, as it contains both positive and negative charged particles. It could also be classed as both a particle and an antiparticle. It would have a spin. Is there a known particle that seems to fit the bill? The neutrino appears to tick every box. The majority of neutrinos which are detected about the Earth are from nuclear reactions inside the Sun, our local G-type main sequence star. At the surface of the Earth, the flux is about 65 billion, 6.5 multiplied by 10 to the power of 10, solar neutrinos per second per square centimeter. So quite a few, but coming from a single source. The Sun. I find it interesting that neutrinos come directly from the Sun's core and therefore are a good indication of what's happening to the Sun now, whereas photons usually take 200,000 years to move from the Sun's core to the surface. If the neutrino was indeed a binary particle, would the passage of so many rotating charged particles cause any change to matter through which it passes? Could they drag atomic nuclei or electrons in the direction of their travel? Could there be even higher frequency EMRs? Firstly, there would have to be an even more energetic source to produce such a high-energy particle, perhaps a supernova or a Big Bang. Both of these events would produce far more energy than there is to be found in a star. What could be expected in terms of binary particle qualities at these high energy levels? High rotation rate, very short strong bond between the electron and positron, very stable particle, low chance of impact with atomic nuclei, no effect from impacts with electrons. Long-lived, in astronomical terms, as the bond is difficult to break. If such a particle exists, they would keep traveling at the speed of light from their time of creation to the point at which they impact an atomic nucleus. My view of the universe differs from current scientific belief in that I believe our universe is just the current one in which we are lucky enough to be a part. In my imagination, Big Bangs have been Big Banging forever. Supernovae have also been exploding in unimaginable numbers of universes across space forever. If this were true, we could expect that our universe would be full of these high-energy EMR coming from all directions, in unimaginable numbers, and we would be completely oblivious of them all. What would be the consequence of these high-frequency EMRs? The first observation would be to say that space would be full of matter that hasn't been directly detected. Stored in this matter would be energy. If this was the case, we could expect that an eternity's supply of high-frequency EMRs traveling in every direction through space should at some point reach a stasis, so that they self-annihilate at roughly the same rate that they are produced. Would this be the dark matter and dark energy that forms 95% of our universe? When these particles transit a planet like the Earth, a small proportion of the particles would collide with the atomic nucleus, causing the electron and positron to self-annihilate, releasing energy in the form of heat. Obviously, the particles would be coming from all directions, but for the sake of clarity, we have only shown particles in one direction. The denser the object, the more likely that the particle will impact with an atomic nucleus. The Earth has a surface density that is 3 to 6 grams per cubic centimeter and up to 13 grams at the core. There would therefore be proportionately more high-frequency EMRs self-annihilating at the core than at the surface. The temperature of the Earth's crust is 1,000 degrees centigrade, whereas the temperature at the Earth's core is 5,000 degrees centigrade. Earth is, however, not a very dense celestial body. The Sun, for example, has a core density of 160 grams per cubic centimeter and therefore would have proportionately more high-frequency EMRs self-annihilating per cubic centimeter than the Earth. The temperature at the Sun's core is 15 million degrees centigrade. The neutron star is even denser than the Sun, with a core density of 109 tons per cubic centimeter. This is obviously very dense, and a high percentage of high-frequency EMRs transiting the neutron star's core will self-annihilate, releasing their energy. The temperature of a neutron star's core is thought to be 10 trillion, that's one with 10 noughts, degrees centigrade. Could this release of energy by binary particles in massive objects cause the ignition of stars? On an atomic level, the passage of huge numbers of rotating charged particles could be expected to have an effect on the atom itself. All atoms and molecular structures would have binary particles passing through them. Even those with an overall neutral charge still have a positive nucleus and shells of electrons. In this model, atoms would be assaulted by charge-carrying binary particles coming from all directions, dragging atoms and distorting electron shells, electromagnetic drag. There would be no single direction, as the forces would cancel each other. The phenomenon of atomic movement is seen in all atoms and molecules. To find even denser matter, we need to look at black holes. The density of a black hole is thought to be 1.8 multiplied by 1,016 grams per cubic centimeter. This is 1.8 multiplied by 1,013 grams per cubic centimeter 18 trillion times, denser than a neutron star. In fact, black holes are so dense that even EMRs cannot escape its gravitational field. If the binary particle model is applied, no energy could be released by radiation when binary particles self-annihilate inside the black hole, thereby adding to its temperature. As the temperature inside the black hole increases, the movement of its atoms and the pressure within the black hole increase, pressing against the ever-increasing gravitational field generated by the black hole as it engulfs everything in its path. The larger the black hole becomes, and the longer it exists, the hotter it becomes, and the greater the pressure against the increasing gravitational field. The only way to resolve this issue would be for the internal pressures, driven by the temperature increase, to completely override the gravitational field and cause a cataclysmic explosion where all matter contained in the black hole is converted to the simplest form of matter, that is EMRs, which then travel off at the speed of light and add to the dark matter and dark energy background of space. Could this be the alternative to the Big Bang powered by a God particle? After such a cataclysm, the particles would be spread out and start cooling, then gravity would start clumping matter together, and the whole life cycle of the universe continues. In the next video, we'll see how these high-frequency EMRs might have other effects on matter. Your feedback on these videos is welcomed, but please offer criticism based upon logic, not dogma. If you wish to disagree with the concept of the binary particle, that's fine, but don't blindly state that the photon is massless. Where's the proof? If there are mathematicians or physicists watching, your help in either proving or disproving the binary particle concept would be much appreciated. Don't forget to like and share this video. Hit the bell icon if you want to get notified when a new video is released. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.